Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA. I'm Carl Prusa. Today I am joined once again. He is chaos. He is Mr. Cam Teague. He's coming off of a first round TKO victory over Sky Moiseochik, Empire FC 29. The champ is here, man. You're able to win a title, able to pick up a good first round finish. Still living, still on the high from that one?
It's kind of died down a little bit, I fought how I should. I felt like I was better everywhere, and I displayed it in the fight. I dominated the whole time and found the finish. So I would have liked a more exciting finish, but sometimes you just gotta take what they give you. He was a tough guy, and is what it is. He took a lot.
Walk me through that finish, man. Walk me through the closing moments of that fight.
He took a shot on me, and I got him down. Again, I ended up on top, and I just overwhelmed him on the ground. He's a black belt at jiu-jitsu, so put a lot of work in this camp with on the ground, because those black belts they got a trick up their sleeves. So I was being pretty careful on top, just framing and doing a lot of damage, throwing elbows, throwing hands, and old Fred, the ref, said that was enough. So.
A lot of people look at you and you're such a flashy striker, so dynamic, so fun to watch, crazy power, but you're very complete, man. You have a ground game, you have jiu-jitsu, you have wrestling. At what point did you really start thinking, hey, if I'm going to chase this, I need to be as complete as possible?
At the start, for sure. Growing up and stuff, the grapplers, back in the day, like GSP, BJ Penn, those guys are dangerous too. And still today, everybody at the highest level, they wrestle. All the champs have, other than I think maybe Ilya, everybody has like a wrestling background. And it's important to be there. My wrestling coach and jiu-jitsu coach, Blake Jordan, he gets me right, and it showed last Saturday.
So before this contest, obviously you fought on the Dana White Contender Series. You took on Kevin Vallejos. Didn't go the way we wanted, but what were some of the takeaways from that contest?
I feel like I still can't compete with that. I felt like, up until I got stung in the solar plexus of my body, fight was, it was going a typical fight for me. Pressure. We were both hitting each other a lot, like finding blows, and I just jabbed. I left it a little too long out there, and he caught me right in the money spot. And I should. There's a lot of things I could have did to survive that. I probably should have started wrestling, even though I don't like to initiate that. But should have probably maybe sat down and played off my back for a minute. But I decided to bite down my mouthpiece and just try to tough it out, brawl through it, and I got. But that's what happens when you play that game. Sometimes you get got, and I don't have any regrets about that. I just next time if it happens, I'm going to try not to get stung like that again. But if it does happen, I'll be better prepared this time around, and is what it is. Sometimes if you gamble on yourself, it just doesn't go your way. So.
Besides from the performance overall, what was it like? Just the experience that was it like coming off the plane, going to the airport, having your name on the iPad, staying in a nice hotel, going to the PI, going to the Apex. Was that a pretty cool experience?
It was. I want to go back. That's the ultimate goal is to get back there, and it was a good experience for sure. Maybe next time I'll have a bigger camp and be more prepared. But I was prepared. I was in shape. I don't have any excuses. I don't like to make excuses because, at the end of the day, we probably all have like maybe something injured in camp. Nobody's like 100% when they enter the cage, and it was a great experience. The UFC they treated us well all week, and the cameras were following us around and stuff. It was a nice experience. So. I just gotta get back. You just gotta get back there. That's my goal.
Now you're an 8-1 fighter. What is the goal now from this point on? Is it back to the UFC as soon as you can?
Whatever my management can get up for me. We got other big promotions that have reached out about signing me and stuff. But ultimately, every fighter's dream is the UFC. So, I'm gonna try to get back in there. I already got something kind of lined up for March, cooking. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm going to stay ready. And, if the UFC calls me again, I'll show up like I did last time, regardless of the result. The way I fight, somebody's going to get finished. And that's my promise every time is, we're going to lead the judges out of it. One of us is going to get done in. And, I'll be ready if they call me again for sure.
It's interesting in this day and age. I think 15, 20 years ago, if you weren't fighting in the UFC, people would kind of like look at you like, what are you doing? But now there's very respectful promotions. Obviously, you got your PFL, you got your ones, you got a variety of bare knuckle stuff. Do you think that's just from the sport blowing up as much as possible?
Yeah, I think it's more of a accepted now because when I was growing up, with like Chuck Liddell and all them, it was just kind of growing. Like not a lot of people. I would go to school like, oh, did you see this fight? And they wouldn't even know what I was talking about. I was like 10 years old talking about like Chuck Liddell and Tito's fight or something, and people didn't even know who those guys were. But to me, those guys, are the legends. They grew the sport. So I think it's definitely more common. Like, you could be flipping on TV and PFL's on ESPN one night. So it's definitely kind of is growing. Eventually maybe the bare knuckle scene will be on there too.
Speaking of bare knuckle, last time I saw you was in Biloxi, Mississippi, about a month ago. You're at Masvidal's bare knuckle event. Overall, what do you think of that concept? Who were you there with? Were you Weems, Davis? Who were you there with?
I was there with Brandon. Since my contenders fight, I was supposed to start cross training with those guys in Mississippi more, but I got the call for the contenders, and it was so close, I didn't really get to work with them. But after that, after my contender fight, I took like a week off, got back in the gym, started cross training over with Brandon and them. So he asked if I'd be there for him and help, warm him up in the back. So I did, since we pretty much were sparring with each other more than anybody. We would go like 3-5 rounds every time sparring. So it's been a good thing for me. Feel like he should have got the belt that night, but the knee or whatever, it was a thigh, if you ask me. Is what it is. He got Costa again, and we'll see. I guess it's gonna be him and Weems maybe next or something for the belt. We'll see what happens. But overall, I like the show. I like bare knuckle.
Could you, obviously you want to chase the dream, you want to chase the UFC, but could you envision yourself maybe one day down the line taking the gloves off?
Maybe towards the end of my career, when I have more of a name for myself, because they're apparently compensating fighters pretty well over there. So, maybe if I still need some money after the UFC or wherever I end up, I'll take them off for sure.
All right, so 2025 is coming up. Overall, what are the goals?
The break into a big promotion this year around, I want to be in the UFC, and it's still the ultimate goal, but I'm going to do what my management says at first round. Even though they take care of me, they set me up right. So whatever opportunity comes along, I'll show up. My life's pretty easy with the management thing and everybody. I just keep training, and then they give me a date and they give me a name, wherever, whenever.
It's pretty crazy. I don't think too many people maybe know much about the area that you come from, the Alabama, Mississippi region, but they should know there's a lot of fighting that goes there. Obviously, there's the Iberville guys. There's a lot of gyms in between, but just by traveling there, watching bare knuckle fights, man, people from that area love it. I mean, they literally embody combat sports. Why? Why is there such a fascination with fighting in that area?
I'm not sure. It kind of did start here. I'm pretty sure the early UFC fights were in Alabama, some of them. So I don't know. We had Roy Jones too back in the day for the boxing scene around Pensacola. It's just a nice little area for fighters, for Southern fighters, I guess you can say. So hopefully I can, when they talk about that area, my name will be thrown in there one day. So.
I think on the regional scene, obviously, promotions up north, Massachusetts, New York area, obviously generate a lot of guys. California generates a lot of top guys. But I really feel like from a promotion regional standpoint, the Southeast is just getting killers and killers and killers now into the UFC. Have you seen that rise of growth of talent within that area?
Yeah, I feel like just like I've been in this for about 6 years now. I feel like since I got into it, it's definitely grown bigger, and we have a lot more Southern fighters getting into the UFC now, and because but when I first started this stuff, all we had really was like Alan Belcher, Jason Knight, and Brandon Davis, and them, and now we're getting some other people up in there, and like I said before, I'm trying to throw my name in there for when they talk about this area for fighting and Southern fighters. So I think I'm on the right track. I think I'm almost there. Just gotta go back, fix some things, and be ready to show up again.
All right, Cam, last question for you, my friend. What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to remember you from this whole fighting career?
It's kind of different for me. I think I've said before in one of the interviews, it might have been with you or somebody before, they're asking about like UFC champion. So that's not really like what I care about, because I'm like a fan at heart. So like every time I fight, I think about what fans want to see. They want to see a fight. They want to see two guys brawl it out. They want to see blood. They want to see, every time I step out there, I want it to be fight of the night. Justin Gaethje's my current favorite fighter, and I try. I really do feel like I fight just like him, and when it's all said and done, I might not be the best fighter in the world, but I want to be remembered as one of the most exciting. So that's the goal for me, and I think the UFC appreciates that too, and will like that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a call pretty soon again.
You think that BMF title might suit you in the future?
I gotta win a lot of fights for they giving me that. So we'll see what happens. 8-1 right now. I still think I got like 20, 30 fights left in me. So maybe one day.
Awesome. Well, Cam, thank you so much for taking up the time to talk to me tonight, man. I look forward to covering you more and more, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's it for us tonight. That is Mr. Chaos Cam Teague, Carl Perza. Stick around, fight fans.